Да? Так, нифига себе, трансляция по расписанию. Прикидывайте, по расписанию. Обалдеть. Как будто это что-то изменит, но ничего не изменит. Ладно. Запускаем, начинаем, запускаем. У нас, оказывается, вчера подписчик появился. Ничего себе. Сложно, ник не могу выговорить. Фражилитис ник у чувака. Жесть. Наверное, так читается. Может, нет. Так. Кстати, заметили, что Ким в таком кружке белом, как будто он святой? На чем мы вчера остановились? Мы вчера поболтали с докерами, бастующими, с бандой, грубо говоря. Вот. Узнали, что их не 7, а 8. Узнали, что черная девочка — это их адвокат, который вообще не дает толком ничего узнать. Да, они и сами не очень хотят. Хотя они могли бы, они глупые, растрепали бы все не хотя. Но не растрепали. Наши задачи сейчас каковы? Какова твоя задача, мистер Дебюа? Так, у нас есть... поднять свой авторитет. Я вот что думаю, может быть, нам заняться наркотой? Найти свое удостоверение. Так, шлюз. А это что у нас? Завтра, да, позвонить? А, нет. Да, это завтра позвонить. Так, все. Поговорим вот с этим мужиком, потому что не знаю, кто он. Может, что знает. Мышь, коп, видим человека, говорим с человеком. Кто такой? А, это девушка? Извините. Ты видишь грузную женщину, что-то бормочущую себе под нос. Кажется, она присматривает книгу.
Yes? Hello? Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much.
Понятно.
If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read.
Фантастика.
It is.
Я полицейский.
I know you are.
Здравствуйте, я полицейский.
Everyone can see that. The rectangles.
Да я понял, Ким, блин. Вам нужна помощь полиции? Здравствуйте, я полицейский. А вам нужна моя помощь? Ля-ля-ля-ля-ля.
This citizen thinks she can do without your assistance. Don't buy it. They all need help. Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking.
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
Where is this going, officer?
Yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time. No.
Я могу вам помочь. Так у нее же не пропал муж. Что за...
Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband.
She has, though. The husband is totally lost. You should tell her that it's okay.
What?
Все хорошо.
Who said anything about shame? Stop talking down to me. My husband is not missing.
Ты уверена?
But he is. You can feel it. Or maybe it's
Зачем я
something else.
слушаю этих мудаков? А. Так, сейчас мне надо ответить срочно. Прошу прощения. Но мы сейчас это просто идем по пути своей шизанутости. Просто плывем по течению, не сопротивляясь. Так. А может быть, какаду? Нет. Может, у вас дети пропали?
No, absolutely not.
Странно, я пришел поздороваться, а теперь утверждаю, что у него кто-то пропал. Логика. Так. Мгм. Все. И где же они?
Are you a policeman or a nanny?
Я расследую все, что захочу.
They are not missing, sir.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance. What if something horrible has happened? What if they're dead? That's the bad vibe you got before.
What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in Shamrock. There's nothing to worry about.
She's getting upset. Her voice has risen as she tries to convince herself that her daughters are safe.
They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now. My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18 next month. But we shouldn't even be talking about them.
Какой-то странный очень разговор.
Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not missing? That they're in Jamrock, safe and well, at some stupid party?
Да, ну... щас. Так, продолжаем.
Did someone say party? You could use a hunt it down.
И это для
There is
расследования.
no investigation here. I can tell you that. I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get ladies. It's better to indulge him at this point.
I don't even have a cockatoo. And guess what?
It's a trap. Never ever say what.
Что?
Even if I had, it wouldn't be missing. Great. Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
Wonderful.
Вот у нас
The
квест
story
есть.
open.
Вот и дело появилось. Дело о моем внутреннем какаду. Боже.
The woman before you nods and
Да, это было очень странно. Но в магазин мы пока не пойдем. У нас $2.
there. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
Блин.
What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is.
Это же ее муж пропавшего.
Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit.
Кажется, что авторитет это самый, типа, должен, ну, один из самых нормальных внутренних голосов даже быть. Мне кажется, он один из самых поехавших. То есть, как ее, внутренняя империя, она такая летящая, а этот просто долбанный, сумасшедший псих, слетевший.
Didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't missing?
Логика такая, типа.
But he is missing. You heard her. The worry in her voice.
Тут что-то не
Do marriages
сходится.
make any sense? Does honor? You're not a filthy philosopher. You're an officer of law. It's time to ace this case and not brood over your reputation. We can deal with the perception management later.
Я хочу слушать авторитет. Он полностью не соответствует логике почему-то. Но он так говорит, что мне такой, да и вправду, я же такой.
There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell the working class woman what you found. Right.
Можно я с ним сначала поговорю? Он не будет со мной разговаривать. Я нашел твоего мужа, кажется.
God damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't missing.
Она уже скажет, не
And I
знаю.
specifically added that I didn't need to know where he was. Very well then. Where is he? Excuse me? I don't follow.
There's something else hiding in her voice, though. A trace of worry.
Right, because working class women come with alcoholic husbands. You know that?
Remember, about that what? Never ever say what.
Я это что?
You were right. I do have an alcoholic husband. Although not that one. I did, and he is. He's also an alcoholic. No, he's not. Or maybe he is, I don't know. He's probably in the park, or in Shamrock somewhere. Drinking with his friends. I haven't seen him for... Well, to hell with him.
There. She's worried now.
I wouldn't be so sure. Ma'am, just to be completely clear, do you want to report it to the police?
Report what? He's just out drinking with his friends. I'm sure the police has better things to do than to chase down local goofballs.
She sighs, but you can detect a slight hint of gratitude and relief from her face.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead. Do you have any questions? Honestly, not that different from you.
Он любит диско.
Oh, thank God, no. It hasn't come down to this yet. Well, he's slightly chubby. What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. The lining is hand-sewn. It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in this, but he refuses to change.
Who cares about the cold when you have your cool jacket to wear? You can completely sympathize.
I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it?
Из помойки достал. Куртку достал из помойки.
Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps him keep warm at night. I wouldn't like him to catch cold.
She's thinking about him out in the cold, in some park, or on the coast. And it's making her more and more worried.
Yesterday morning, he went to the library. He went to retrieve my book, and he promised he'd walk straight back home. Because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do with his addiction. Just makes me feel weak.
Gone for around 36 hours then. Damn, this is a missing persons case. She turns away from you in an attempt to recover.
So you are going to look for him?
She genuinely wants you to now. Don't make her ask.
Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure he will return home by himself. I'm still sure of that.
She tries to maintain a brave front, even though her eyes reveal the opposite.
I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 57, Kim Kitsuragi, know?
I will. Of course, officer. As I said, it's probably nothing.
Что сейчас было? Безумный авторитет. Тут дело. Кто-то там еще. Тут дело. Логика такая. Да нет здесь никакого дела. Это нелогично. Что? Класс. Опыта только не дали, жалко. Ну ладно. Найти птицу. Так, я вообще хотел искать наркотики пойти. Это очень забавно получилось. Хотя еще надо будет с этими чуваками поговорить. Я когда первый раз пробовал в это играть, они были такими душными, что я не хочу сейчас к-нибудь. Давайте оставим их на потом. Они ближе к разговорам о реальности, чем о деле, о делах. Так, вот мужик у грузовика. Эй, мужик у грузовика. Здорово.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
Слушай дальше.
From another planet. Hey there.
Закон это я.
It's the jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the modern era. You can almost taste it.
Сторож, что это?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Arbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days.
Лимп, так вот куда я попал.
Yeah, exactly.
It's official. He too agrees. This is the antechamber of the afterlife.
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout. Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Потом будем про груз спрашивать, пока так.
It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out.
Что требует?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like, a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on. They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Понятно.
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. Us lorry drivers. Cam, your nurse. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better.
Да
When
ничего,
one's
ну в
ended,
смысле,
get onto the
отстань.
next one. He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
Так, эмпатия на 50. Блин, у меня такая большая эмпатия, все равно 58. Что ты, блин, я не хочу рисковать. Надо либо эмпатию вкачать, либо надо с ним еще поболтать. Спросим про мертвеца.
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs. A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
Что ты перевозишь?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Time to arrest him. Relax. He's merely joking.
Перестал. Ладно, поржем с ним.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
Да, грузовики классные.
Neat. For carrying large quantities of cargo a long distance. These found tracksuits need to find their way to the kids way out in Wamrau and Loran Bird somehow.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy. Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Ты похож на человека. Блин, это как оскорбление. Это звучит как оскорбление.
Ah,
Оскорбимо.
man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Блин, как-то вот это совсем тупо.
Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me?
Entrapment is where a law officer gets a person to commit a criminal offense they otherwise wouldn't commit, often through some trickery or fraud.
Понятно.
Yes. It's like trying to trick a person into doing something criminal that they'd never do.
Я бы не стал такого делать.
Then what are you trying to accomplish?
So much for subtlety. Better get straight to the point.
Блин, я все равно вышел на этот вопрос. Не хотел так, но ладно.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
It's not a lie. It's something else. Impossible to say what at this point, but there's something in him. Some trepidation.
Ну давайте рискнем. Белая проверка ведь, да? Могу потом еще раз попробовать попозже.
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
I'm okay, man. Just... the jam's got me down. The fumes, the chemical rainbows, the tarpaulin stretched on the frames and the dull engines off.
Maybe the full-on direct approach wasn't correct. Damn, it's tricky business looking into someone's eyes.
Блин, ладно.
Doing it wrong.
Потом можно будет. Или уже нельзя будет.
Don't be a stranger.
Кажется, я запорол его. Прохождение через него запорол. А как тут-то пройти? Или тут никуда нельзя пройти? Вон Ким же как-то... Ким как-то... А,
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane." Not a good track record of mental health in that family. As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece. What did he do? You have no idea what you did a week ago. How would you know what this guy did many centuries ago?
понятно.
High above you, the king stands triumphantly oblivious to your memory trouble. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads,
Понятно.
"Not a good track record." As you look up, you notice
Еще раз
something
повторю
about the
случайно.
statue. Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. A bullet? Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it. Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? target practice or a political statement?
Думаю, что это политика.
Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still shoot them, sometimes at kings.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and indifferent to your sightings.
Ладно, понятно. Немножко опыта выбили. Помню, мы пытались вроде подходить к нему, или нет?
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays. Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is... No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Да, мы к ней подходили вроде бы.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the weary aspect of her cornered beast.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
В 50.
The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber? Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution, the sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buendero. Until you came along, that is. This is Gabriel Buendero.
Просто будем спрашивать.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen. This man's got a hold over her, even 50 years later. You can feel it.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all of his lines.
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind.
Someone was. They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know? All of this.
Интересная женщина.
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal wave approaching.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Lowman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden. While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution, meth, it was a golden age. Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
Что?
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff? Please? I think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are not Gabriel. Gabriel doesn't say please.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots made of black leather. Buckles run across. The sole is also made of leather.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was a real man.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. The size is 37.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals.
Так, что бы у нее поспрашивать? Что вы перевозите?
Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was? Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Oh, it's so much more than a high where I go, Rife. It's low. I go to the bottom.
Yeah, it's definitely some kick. Some terrible kick in the dark. A sleep kick. Perhaps you can find out later.
Then it's contraband, Lowman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
Bad Hand. Hermenegildos' bad hand. Strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her thing.
So he doesn't think she's a smuggler.
You hear that, Lowman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Nothing. I just don't think she's connected to anything.
He's worried, but not for her. For you. What is it about this woman? If she's not connected to anything?
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camioners around. I drive routes no one else will. Lomonosov's Land, Udachnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain.
Удачная земля, она сказала с акцентом русским, это типа какая-то часть России, окей, неважно, тут все равно вымышленные. Вымышленные места. С отсылками, конечно же.
The Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. At Estradas do Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds fly. You're right, Lowman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me.
A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby.
Is that all you woke me up to say?
Так, не хочу спрашивать, но спрошу.
Of course not. To truly understand the Boyadero, you need to listen to On the Western Plain. It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain.
Я так понимаю, она типа что-то какая-то отсылка на мексиканку или что-то в этом духе. Ну ладно.
Of course not. The boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Maigret, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down. So the boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Maigret. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him.
Прекрасная песня.
The most beautiful. A true boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a boyadero.
What if to truly love a boyadero is to float lifeless downstream?
What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare. Yes, there is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
Странная.
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary, the great unrest.
If you don't know, why would I want to do that? Loma, what in the name of God are you talking about?
Как я так... Я просто типа... Может мне надо типа думать немножко перед тем, как выбирать, конечно, ответы, но они такие не связанные. Как он от одного перешел к другому? Соберись, Максим, ты так сейчас заруинишь все прохождение.
Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat. The U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grat, Lowman? It's diamonds, Lowman, obviously. Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Diamonds are good for you, Lowman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Zoras.
Да.
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the features of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
I think we're done here, no?
Да.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
Hey. Psst. Psst. Hey, you. Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
Снова?
Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too?
Не знаю, чему ответить.
So, what about all that communism you've promised to build? Word on the street is you've woken up from 1,000 years of slumber, promising to erect a version of communism many times greater than any attempted before. Is that true?
Нет.
You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket. Literally murder all human beings,
Нет
regardless of
никакого
their political
коммунизма.
beliefs.
Мы не
That
будем
kind of
коммунистами.
stuff.
Я никогда такого не
Okay,
говорил.
not in so many words, but don't deny it. You're about to rip off that mask of social democracy and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that will devour and masticate mankind. Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
В чем суть коммунизма?
Failure. It's about failure. Yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped and pissed on. Until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist.
Звучит
Now
круто,
get to
конечно.
work, comrade.
Слишком утомительно.
Very well. I guess no one will build communism then. Tell the working man it's over, unless anyone has objections. No objections. It's mathematically impossible to achieve a classless society. Everyone knows this. Did someone mention cocaine? Are we doing cocaine? No. I'm sure I heard someone say cocainism. Anyone? Anyone else? There's one. You should build communism precisely because it's impossible.
строить коммунизм, потому что это невозможно. Что, блядь, творится в голове этого человека? Никаких коммунистов. Никакого коммунизма. Что потом как чебурашка мы строили. И наконец построили. Ура! Тут куда-нибудь можно пройти? Нет. Там нельзя, тут нельзя. Тут мы выходим. С ним мы и разговаривали. Ты кто такой вообще? Слышь?
Welcome to Rivachol.
Дальнобойщик расист, как я понял, по внешнему виду.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Все правильно.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Rivachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCN. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense.
Да, это точно.
Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Конечно, Ким,
You two
братан.
make a cute couple. You know that?
Мне дали достижение самый лучший коп. Е!
You sense slight embarrassment for the outburst. Or is it pride? Impossible to tell.
Whatever you say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high tar content cigarettes, probably Astra Whites. You could ask him to show you the soles of his boots. He definitely looks like someone capable of a lynching. Maybe he was present.
Покажи свою
Been
подошву.
admiring the Stompers, huh? Sure thing. Check them out.
On the bottom of the man's boots, you see an intricate tangle of treads with no immediately discernible pattern.
It's Revachol. Custom made. Cost me a pretty penny. For when the invasion comes, the last thing they'll see before the lights go out is illustrious Revachol.
It doesn't look like the lieutenant cares. He just makes a little note.
No, it's not like that. You don't get it. It's when I kick them, you know? Oh, fuck it, it's too complex for you. Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go.
Там
Haven't seen
российская
anything
кружка у нас
that
была.
funny in a while. God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
Уровень дали. Е-е.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with a coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep. I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books, huh? The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it.
Ну, это, видимо, псевдонаучное что-то.
People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that. Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? Huh? When members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority, they stop competing for resources. The problem? The damn kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other introduced species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory. It's what the kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or leader? No. Dominating culture is how they plan to win. They say so themselves. It's true.
Бред.
Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring.
Иди-ка ты нахер.
Don't push your luck, Runt.
Блин. Я закрыл целую ветку диалогов для себя из-за этого. Ну, блин, а чё тупые расисты?
Looking for something, Runt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Что перевозишь?
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
Какой груз ты должен забрать?
Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Яблоки?
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector.
Но вы не сопротивляетесь.
They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage. I don't go for that foreign piss. Proper booze is made in Mundi. Or sometimes I like a dram of that Yugograd vodka. Koikos and worse much, but they do no booze.
He eyes you warily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds. Then,
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
there was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags, when some kip boys smashed his luck and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. It's a fucking travesty, is what it is. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
Все твои доводы построены на расизме.
He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil when you're nearby.
Yes, yes. Where is he?
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sealang's usually a little bit south of here, near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right. 100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess so.
Так, ладно, давай, расист, пока. Значит, внизу где-то. Эта бабка видела вот этого чувака и говорит, что, возможно, он возит. Ей доверять такое себе, она там сидит, летает в своих фантазиях. Но, видимо, это он. Так, нет. Нет. Ты кто? Ты он?
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sealang is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer! Everything's cool here. Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
Ну и что же?
You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang! Oh, yes! You got style. You got personal style. You know what you like. You like premium menswear. Look around and browse. Everything looks cool on a guy like you. Take your time.
Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. Questions?
Да, точно.
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All reversion. Very sharp, officer. I'm Serais from the Sigai province of the Serais Empire. The apricot suzerainty, you know?
Apricot suzerainty calls to mind an era when the Sigai archipelago was colonized by Revachol. It's a bit of a slur, in other words.
Very cool. I admire your awareness of our intertwined histories. It's super nice of you to apologize for colonialism, but the apricot suzerainty is a shithole. That's why I left. If you say so, officer, I don't worry too much about politics. I'm an entrepreneur, you know. Whatever's good for business is good for me.
Убедить от тебе денег нет.
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs. That's so cool. You investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc? But I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that. Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity. No! That's insane! It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Maybe he's the one, huh? Have you thought about that? Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd? You know, the drug crowd?
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd. He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
Look, there's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady. I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
It could be. She was strange. He's not ruling her out.
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now?
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses.
Просим денег у
Both of you.
торговца.
You deserve it.
No need to dress this one up. Just tell him what you want.
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
Понятно, нет, мы не будем вымогать деньги из него. Если бы, типа, он такой дал мне просто так, было бы норм.
Ah, yes. Money is very important.
Are you trying to ask for a bribe? If so, you're not doing a very good job.
Sorry, detective.
Ладно. Так. Расист сказал, что наркотики перевозит он. Женщина сказала, что наркотики перевозит тот худой поэт. Худой поэт сказал, что не знает ничего о никаких наркотиках и вмешиваться в это не собирается. Кому верить, кому доверять? О, немножко денежков. А тут мужик стоял, уже нет.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
How about some premium class service over here? Like paying with net worth. Go over and ask him if you can do that. Save the economy? That sounds off.
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco.
Странный он.
Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting there, not getting bought? We've got to keep the flow of goods moving. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children?
Да, вот это правда.
And what?
Нет, глупость какая-то.
Oh. Look, man, I'm not into politics. I like everyone. Check out the box.
Ладно,
You find
что-то.
your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places.
Мне кажется, мы сейчас будем заканчивать, что я уже отвлекаюсь.
The box
Не могу
smells like
сосредоточиться на
cactus
тексте.
or like an old person with no money.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also
Мне
wind,
нравится.
summer, 100% waterproof, and sport. All in different typefaces.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
Нет денег, все пока. Не буду спорить, товары только расстраиваться, денег нет. Так, кого обвинить? Женщину или вот эту? Кэт, расскажи мне что-нибудь еще. Можешь мне еще что-нибудь рассказать? Или я только сразу могу
Still
начать
here.
обвинять?
Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up? I don't want to talk about that. Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
He still is, hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part, not trickery. Bah, emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me, too. Now I see why. A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
Ты дурак.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something. Wait, this guy says they're friends. Then, acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out. Push Tommy and it will break his heart. And his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too.
Понятно. Блин, не знаю, стоит ли его...
You're not gonna put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
Imagine it. An explosion of stars. Goodbye world of men, money and machines.
Внутренняя империя, да. Пойду поговорю с другими.
Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes, too.
Деньги давай.
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work. The bosses, man. Dunno. What you need?
Ладно, давай. Пойдемте к расисту.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again? I don't know what you're talking about. He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorryman's job. You should be thankful for the tip.
He's been expecting this. He's really puffed himself up.
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
No. He means La Puta Madre.
The name resounds like a bell in the air. A dark gong. You get a bad feeling about it. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Типа какой-то мафиози или что-то в этом духе. Ну давай, кицураги жги.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is. It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely... I softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job. Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him, by the looks of it. It won't be easy to break him.
Чего? Это мы не выбросим.
The main thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is, how does it look on your
То есть,
resume?
если бы я выбросил сейчас проверку, возможно, все бы сделалось само. А тут, типа, возможно, мне сейчас придется самому решать.
What? What do you think we're doing right now, Runt? We're outside, talking. There's some kind of homo thing?
Okay, that's enough, detective.
Я все просрал. Я все просрал.
Let's just go and ask Tommy, alright? We are wasting our time here.
Прости, Ким, ты так хорошо все разыграл. Пойдемте к старушке. Че у меня сумрак 2? Че я на сумраке 2 сделал? Я хочу капнуть в авторитет. Хочу капнуть в авторитет. Мне что-то в сумке появилось. Мне показалось. Мне показалось. А, я не принял. Все, теперь авторитет 6. Поговорим с женщиной. Блин, так обидно, я запорол и проверку, и сам какую-то фигню, типа...
The woman is still hunched over the railing.
Huh? What is it? What do you want? Did you just call me a lady, Herife?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I'm not that either, Herife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul. I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me. Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there. It's all just... In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to stay.
In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air. You don't hear any vocals.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around when I have my movies to go to? Oh, Sim.
Something in her is pulling towards some unknown rest state. She twitches like a sleep kick.
Блин, у нас остается только один вариант. У нас остается только один вариант. Ломать дружбу с водителем. Потому что там я обосрался, тут она ничего не скажет нам.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up? What? But I told you she's my friend. Please don't make me give her up, detective. Get someone else. There's a ton of drivers here. I thought you were a different kind of cop.
Прости.
The realization that you've used his friendliness and goodwill for your own ends. Remember, you're doing it for the bigger investigation. This is important. Relax. Ask.
Вправду. Я все-таки полицейский, а не дружок какой-то там, чей-то.
Here. Her lorry's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
When did she leave?
Last Friday. I bet you are.
And he's sorry he couldn't be what he wants to be. A good person. His last line, his revenge on the world.
No, I don't know. She left them to me because she trusted me. So I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose. Otherwise...
The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving.
If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
Thank you for your cooperation, sir. I know it was hard, but you did the right thing.
You don't really think so?
Думает.
I really do. If I didn't, I wouldn't be in the RCM. Take care, sir.
Мы делаем хорошее дело.
This green found, A to Z, Contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This is the one our men pointed to.
You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just... The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be.
Цепить плакат.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films. from the 20s, the teens,
Ah,
even the
teens.
90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
Что это за запах?
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably granate number 5. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. A feeling of tenderness washes over you. A longing even, perhaps. And wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom exactly. The actresses and the rare actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the
Так,
driver's seat.
смотрим радио.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too. Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key.
The ghostly actresses and the rusty toolbox under the driver's seat.
Так, осмотреть педали.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique? Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Looks like her, yes. Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in a drug operation? We should talk with Titus, see what he's got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console and a faint smell of perfume is it. Voila! A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Bonne prise.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881. high above the mess of brown and red roofs that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield. To Kuron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct. No storm will ever drown Revachol, the great solution to the riddle of history. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to East Motor Tract.
So it would seem. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them. Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it. The Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names like La Puta Madre and Aura Mazda, it's a dark parody. It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is a brave man for saying Madre's name without the winces and whispers that usually accompany it.
Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick this up later.
The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable. The movie stars look silently by, and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle. Worn, a metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of Périphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
It's an issue of Périphérique. It looks like an article.
Попал по кругу.
Ulan,
Ладно, понятно.
pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest.
У них еще
The
своя
rest
какая-то
is as it
радиосеть
was.
была.
Close the rusty old.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Ну давай поговорим.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
Yes, well...
Unimportant.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition. We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madre grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Понятно.
Debrief over. After you.
Вот так вот, короче. Я устал. Давайте подводить итоги будем. Мы нашли женщину, которая не потеряла мужа, но на самом деле потеряла. Мы ей поможем. Отлично. Мы занимаемся делом. Мы искали грузовик, вернее, информацию о наркотиках. Нашли информацию о наркотиках, нашли 8-го человека, который был с парнями Харди, Харви, или как его там. Короче, кто линчевал того спецназовца. Вот. Она, видимо, возможно, она сбежала. Мне кажется, она сбежала. Типа, потому что, типа, они делают вид, что, типа, они знают, где она, а водитель, типа, говорит, что, типа, она, ну, типа, такая, типа, ничего не сказав, типа, ушла, или что-то типа, в этом духе, да? Вот. То есть, грубо говоря, никто не знает, где она. Вот. Ой. Нам сейчас надо будет идти к парням и общаться с ними. Так вот. Но это мы сделаем в следующей серии. Ну вот, итоги подвели вроде как. Будем прощаться. Спасибо, что были со мной. Я даже знаю, кто. Вот. Всего доброго, доброго вечера и пока.